Yo,
we gotta talk.
First, give me your first initial thoughts, though.
It was so filled with so much.
Good
I feel
sake.
like the highest points. Donkey Kong Bonanza looks insane. It's like they've made me fall in love with his new design in one trailer, and I'm so into it. Let's take 2 seconds to talk about the biggest part of that trailer, right? The Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. Can you give me your thoughts and impressions on the Welcome Tour?
Oh man, I mean, the first thing I thought is like, okay, they're trying to do like a little Astrobot thing.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, it's going to be a pack-in, right? As soon as they said paid downloadable game, I was shocked. That they're going to make you pay for that. Make you pay to learn about the console. I don't know. That was a very weird thing to do, to make that paid. I feel like that's like an easy pack-in game. I just don't know why they just don't do it. Why not just pack in that game?
Like a game.
It had nothing.
It looks like an instruction booklet.
Oh my! And then they like the games they show are not. I wouldn't even describe them as tech demos. They're like they're worse than what you get packed in with like Windows 3.1. It's.
I thought at first when they were showing it that it was going to be like some Miiverse type thing, because you got people like got like little avatars all around, and it looked little billboards all around. So it definitely looked like it was going to be some sort of social experience, but no, it's just a interactive instruction manual with some like neat little trivia.
And is that insinuating that little people are living inside your Switch? Because again, with Astrobot, it makes sense that Astrobot is living inside your PlayStation. I don't know if I feel comfortable knowing that there's tiny little, like, Matt Damon from that one movie People living inside my Switch.
They're at least severed, so they don't know the outside world.
Oh, the Pro Controller 2, actually, I thought it looked sharp. The buttons look a little bit bigger. I love that it has an audio jack. Did you know it? Did you know it has the C button?
Yeah, I did know. It was front and center. It's like the most visible button.
I swear to God, if they mention that C button ever again in any other Nintendo Direct, I'm going to lose my goddamn mind. I have never felt like a more worthless, unimportant button that I'm never going to press. Like, it is so... Anyway, something I want to talk about a little bit is the Nintendo Switch 2 editions of games.
Yes. If you have Expansion Pass Online, both Zeldas are free upgrades.
Oh, okay. That's it. Okay.
They did make a news post specifically claiming that.
Because that was going to be my first thing, was like, how much am I going to be paying to quote unquote upgrade my games? Like, am I going to be paying for better graphics on all my games? Like, what is this going to be? From what I'm seeing, it's about $10 Japanese for these upgrades,
That would be fine to me. If that was
I think that's okay. I think that's okay.
I would be okay with that.
I mean, I thought Zelda looked so pretty. I was in no desire to replay either of those games, honestly, because they're such big, massive, long games, you know? And you know them, you kind of know them, like, but... Whoo, they are very pretty, and they were running super smooth. And I think that's what they're going to have to do. If they want us to pay $10 more, they're going to have to give us more than just upgraded graphics, right? Like, they need to give us a little bit of extra content. 4-player local. I thought that was actually huge, too. They showed that off kind of just in the middle of it. But, yeah, needing only one person to own a console. So we're all 4 together. We want to play Mario Party all on our own console. Only one of us needs the game now. And that's great. Yeah. That's really great. Same thing for Mario Kart. Those things are really great. I think those are really, really huge for couch gaming. Metroid Prime 4, I feel like, is definitely not coming out till fall, though, given that they weren't like, oh, this will be out at launch, or this will have anything at launch.
Metroid Prime 4 will be a while, for sure.
Yeah, the camera.
How much do you think the camera is going to cost?
Oh, 50, maybe $100, honestly.
I'm
definitely
closer
50
to 100.
You're probably right. It's probably going to be closer to $100. It looked like, and what's funny is the one game they showed off with Mario Party Jamboree where you're like literally using the camera for it, whereas, hold on, I'm going to find that again. I did like, for the fact, we're definitely going to be playing Mario Party exclusively like this from now on.
I'm going to buy the camera because I definitely want that for Mario Party, yeah.
Okay, everything in the Mario Party update is basically kind of like a game at Nintendo World.
Yeah.
The roller coaster shooter thing, that's basically the ride that they have at Nintendo World, more or less. I'm very curious how the camera's going to work with the mini games where you have to like use the camera to balance Goombas on your head. Or things like that. Is the camera going to be solid? Because it doesn't look like the camera ever has good frame rate going on, you know? So, camera, $50. Okay, $50. That's
pretty reasonable. Pretty reasonable.
Better. The games that don't have the Switch upgrade right now, like I'm looking here, like you can play Mario Maker 2, you can play Mario Wonder, Luigi's Mansion 3, Odyssey, Smash Brothers, all on Switch 2. It says that they're compatible, but they don't have Switch 2 upgrades. Are we going to see, you think we're going to see any performance upgrade in that? Or are they going to look kind of like that scaled down version? Are we going to be able to use the mouse in those games? You know, like Mario Maker 2, I'm thinking like, you know?
I'm going to say that like, aside from, you know, not having frame drops, you know, like just performance drops just based off of being on a stronger system, I don't think, unless it has like an explicit Switch 2 upgrade, I don't think we'll see or expect any difference in like resolution, visuals, gameplay mechanics, gameplay options.
$80 confirmed for Mario Kart 9 at least, which would make me feel like first-party Nintendo games are going to $80.
I think I just saw somewhere Donkey Kong Bonanza is going to be priced $70.
Oh, interesting.
Mario Kart's going to be $80, but Donkey Kong will be $70.
I think they're fine pricing it at $80 just because everyone's going to buy it. I feel like we're in the top time for things to go wrong with this, you know? Like, yeah. I am very curious about how are I mean, I know they said they can have parental controls and everything, but like, if you just get into a random game in Mario Kart and you click that C button, you know, like if you group with a random party, are you going to just start video chatting with random people?
I don't think you'll be able to group with someone who's not on your friends list.
The tracks looked huge. Mm-hmm. Huge. And not just like long, huge. I mean, they're significantly wider.
Why? I love the way that it looks. I feel like after Mario Kart 8, it was like hard to imagine, like, what are they going to really do to twist this around more? I feel like they kind of figured out like a lot of what they had going, and they just took it and just expanded, right? Like they added jet skis and snowmobiles to specific sections, which is cool.
Yeah.
They added the wall rides, the grinding. And what I'm excited about is when Mario eats a burger and he gets a cool new costume. We've got cosmetics for our characters coming in as well, which is like, who doesn't love that, right? At one point in these in the Nintendo Direct, you see like Pimp Daddy Waluigi. You see Arabian Nights Wario. You see Farmer Luigi.
Dude, Gimp outfit.
Girl Peach.
Gimp outfit Bowser. We just passed him, actually. We're looking at just the cow. The random cow is something. Like, just seems like a random cow. I'm looking at a dolphin right now. Looks like there's a dolphin.
I think I saw a bee. I think the bees from Mario Galaxy at 1.2.
That makes sense that we have the bees. Looks like traditional Mario Kart gameplay. One of the things I did notice, and I don't know if you noticed this, but as a race fan, the two things that I'm actually really excited about, just like coming from sim racing, one, they have rolling starts now.
Yes, I did notice that. I was very excited about that because the whole idea is the world is connected. So you drive from course to course in the Grand Prix. And yeah, you have that rolling start as you're going. It's so cool.
Yeah, and I actually think, like, let's say you're playing like multiplayer, you're doing 24 players going from course to course. Instead of having like the way you ended the race decide your next, like where you start the race next, it's going to be your drive over to that next race that decides where you start that race. So it's almost like like a sprint in race weekend. So I actually thought that was like really, really cool. I really, really enjoyed that. Yeah, I actually really, this is the first time where I'm thinking to myself like, oh, I'm going to play the single player game of Mario Kart and really and probably enjoy it. Like, so that's
pretty big. I know you're not that huge on Mario Kart 8, so I know that's a lot coming from you.
I like Mario Kart 8, but I'm not like, I haven't gone out, I haven't practiced it, you know what I mean? It's clear I haven't played it a ton, but I like Mario Kart 8 just like everyone else. This one I'm just significantly more excited about. The racing looks really good. Like, coming from like a sim racer, I don't know, it looks like it just definitely takes like racing more serious in this one, weirdly. Yeah, the US feed had audio desync and didn't show the Gungeon trailer at all.
Oh, they didn't show it?
No, the US feed just completely like missed it just like froze during the Gungeon trailer.
Oh, I switched to the UK feed pretty like once the delay got pretty bad. Yeah.
I actually think game chat might be bigger with the fact that you all can play your own game and sit there and watch each other.
Yeah, that is really cool, honestly. I like that about it a lot.
Let's see, we got red cartridges. I wonder if they'll still taste like shit. Gaming technology is stagnated to the point where Nintendo's hardware is finally caught up.
Yeah, that's actually so true.
Dragon Drive.
Let's recap that one.
Yeah, that one. Okay, I thought
it was gonna be a DJ game at first, but it was like
right?
They were scratching up and down with the Joy-Cons. And I was like, oh, okay. And it was kind of making like a...
I said Parappa the Rapper at first. I was like, did they buy Parappa the Rapper? Wheelchair Rocket League. I think this is going to be a fun, like, hour play. I don't think this is going to be something that you're going to play a bunch, because it does look like it plays significantly slower than something like Rocket League. It looks like a fun way to use two mice.
We're getting huge support for third-party Nintendo. I feel like it kind of, if you look back at the Wii U, like they tried so hard to get that third-party support, right? Like Wii U launched with the Batman Arkham games, Assassin's Creed, whatever one had you, I think in America, like a bunch of stuff they really pushed. And because the Wii U was such a flop, so many third-party developers were like, we're just kind of like done. And then the Switch was so weak, they're like, we can't really do much with this.
I think maybe the biggest announcement that Nintendo gave no acknowledgement of at all is the fact that they were like, oh, Silksong's going to be out on the Switch 2 in 2025.
Yeah, they gave it about 3 seconds of screen time, and it was the softest little tease for what has become the biggest deal to like the more intense online gaming community. Like the casuals not going to care quite as much about that, but that's huge news.
I thought like they announced like 2 years ago that it was coming to Xbox Live games first. Day one Game Pass? I don't know, Yeah. I'm not a Dynasty Warriors fan. I'm not a Hyrule Warriors fan. They're not like my type of combat. However, the thing that I really love and appreciate about the Hyrule Warriors specifically is they take these games and then they give us a hot bit of lore inside of those games with a nice side quest. And I think this one's going to be some of the most fun lore we can get because it's all like in the past Hyrule lore, and they can really write whatever they want into that.
They did it in such a clean way where in Age of Calamity, they like just enough in there to be like, this isn't technically going to be perfectly canon, so we can write a happy ending. But it was still like, you play through it and you're like, yeah, these are the events of the Calamity and how they happened, minus this last like 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, they could also do that with this one. They might just time travel us right. That. Yeah, they might just time loop us right over there. So
yeah. I'm really excited to play this game. I'm with you on Dynasty Warriors games not really being my cup of tea, but Age of Calamity did enough with the combat to, I think, make it like challenging and unique and fun enough that I didn't feel like I was just spamming punch 100 times to kill 1,000 enemies. Like I actually felt like I was being challenged in an exciting and cool way.
Let's talk a little bit about the GameCube coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Yeah. The whole time when they're showing it off, I kept screaming, "Show Smash Brothers, you pussies, you won't." And they didn't.
That would be massive.
And they didn't.
I don't know if I would be a little worried about them showing Smash Brothers, not for like them or anything, but like there is a very deep Smash Brothers Melee community
of
still,
course.
And they've got their online net like gameplay with rollback netcode and basically like super customized emulator that they use to play Smash Bros. Like it has matchmaking, it has everything. Like they've got it figured out. The Smash Bros. Experience for Smash Melee will not ever be as good on a Nintendo console as it is with however the Smash community has currently set it up. And that's just like facts to me.
Yeah, I mean, I think like the fact that I think that's why they specifically didn't show Smash in any of those. Like, they showed a lot of GameCube games and they did not show a cover art of Smash. And I agree. I think that's the problem. Like there's just so much third-party stuff for Melee that there's no way that they could get anyone that cares about Smash Brothers Melee to be playing it on Nintendo Switch Online. So they might just be better off not doing it.
And there's also the possibility that they're saving it, right? Like, you know, they could want to have around holiday time or maybe leading into whatever new Smash Bros. They end up announcing for the Switch 2. Maybe they're going to get to a point where they're like, oh, also Smash Bros. Melee playable today, right? Like,
obviously they're going to want to put a Smash Brothers on the system. So I'm curious if they are going to just upgrade Ultimate at some point, or they're going to give us a brand new Smash. But I would have liked to seen an Ultimate upgrade right day one. The one thing I will say is the fact that they showed the GameCube controller specifically, though, makes me feel like Smash is going to come at some point. Now, I don't know enough about Hollow Knight and its trailers. I'm sure the Silksong Reddit is going crazy right now. But can someone tell me, is this new footage we're seeing? It is so short of time. It is new footage. Okay, the Reddit imploded. This is all new footage on here. Nothing about it makes me. Nothing about it looks any different than Hollow Knight.
It's literally 2 jumps and one like special move. Yeah, I'm worried about it. I feel like it's been built up for so long and so much that whatever it's gonna be, people are gonna be let down by the end because it's just turned into this thing that everybody's like talking about and waiting for.
I just don't know how you improve upon like the Metroidvania formula so much where not that it doesn't justify a sequel, but that it justifies the like ridiculous rabid hype for the sequel. 2025 is fitting to be like a really insane year of gaming in general.
I know, yeah.
I mean,
especially if we're getting GTA 6 this year.
If we get GTA 6 this year, that's so wild. Curiosity, GTA 6, Silksong. I mean, just massive games, massively anticipated games here.
Yeah, absolutely.
Someone said, is this FromSoftware? And I said, there's no fucking way it's FromSoftware. I thought it was like Castlevania for a little bit. I thought it might be Castlevania, like this is a Richter or Belmont or something.
Castlevania was said in my chat very early on too, and I was also like, yeah, maybe that could be what we're seeing here. We could be getting into a Castlevania type situation here.
Yeah. It's PvP versus PvE is going to be multiplayer focused. That's the same way they describe Elden Ring or Dark Souls 3. So I'm not necessarily sure it's going to be multiplayer focused. And then they don't show it till the end of the trailer. This isn't just a FromSoftware game. Like, you know, Armored Core is a FromSoftware game, right? It is a Miyazaki game. You know, Miyazaki is making this game. I don't know if this is Night Rain or this is more just like you can have 8 invaders. Yeah, I definitely... I mean, just the trailer doesn't play anything like the Night Rain trailer did.
I can't... this is such a power move, man, from Nintendo
huge.
To get this exclusively on the Nintendo Switch 2, because a thing that Nintendo doesn't struggle with, it's having good exclusives, right? Like, Nintendo is the exclusive king because they have the IPs of 30 years of insanely good and iconic game franchises. But to take something that is so non-Nintendo and make it an exclusive on their platform is what a power play, man.
Do you know what this reminds me of, actually? And I don't know if you remember this, when the GameCube announced that they were going to be the exclusive Resident Evil place Way back when. Yeah.
That, you know what? That I didn't know that was a thing, actually. I never really thought about it.
Yeah, that was...
Yeah, Resident Evil 4 did release on the GameCube when really the PlayStation 2 would have been the place for it.
Yeah, it was... yeah, for a while, GameCube had... Like, Resident Evil 0 and 4 both launched on GameCube first. And it was like they had an exclusive deal with it for like 5 years, which was crazy. But yeah, just having a... FromSoftware, I mean, Bloodborne was huge for the PlayStation. Like, Bloodborne is a huge franchise for PlayStation. It was a huge game for PlayStation.
Well loved, yeah.
Very well loved. Sold well. It was a reason to own a PS3, you know? So I have to feel like this is going to hit a large group of gamers that weren't planning on buying a Switch 2 is now going to think like, well, I can't miss the next Miyazaki game, right? Yeah, I need to have the next Miyazaki game. I know they have a 3D Mario. They didn't show it today. And I think they were probably comfortable not showing it because they had something this big.
As far as a console announcement and a launch lineup, the strongest maybe ever, right?
It's pretty good. This was
the PlayStation 5 had shit all for launch, right? Like the Xbox, who even knows what they do anymore?
I have no idea
as far as
are they in the console business?
Playable, yeah, everything's playable on PC, and their whole new thing is everything is Xbox, whatever.
With some secrets and really big boss fights. I think that's you turning into a dinosaur.
That's badass.
Let's talk about Kirby's Air Ride. Did you play the original Kirby's Air Ride?
Minimally. It's like one of those games I wanted really bad as a kid, and I didn't get it.
I've never played it. Like, why do we need this, chat? Can you explain to me why we need this?
What I said when we were watching it was like, great, so we've got Mario Kart and Kirby Kart for the Switch.
Yeah.
Like, it is kind of like we're getting very, very much in like close to the launch. Like two games that fill a very similar need, right?
Well, this game isn't coming out at launch. This is a deep...
No, this will be a little bit... It's nice to get that, like, you know, this is what Sakurai is working on, especially with him being behind the original Kirby Air Ride. It's cool to see. Like, part of me wonders, like, are we getting this because it was his, like... He wanted to? Like,
definitely.
Was it him who made the decision that I want to do this again?
100%. The way the trailer started, you half expected it to be a Smash game.
Same, yeah.
I thought the way the trailer started, it was going to be the upgrade. We were going to see the upgrade for Smash is what they were going to give us right there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, because like Kirby, because Sakurai is Kirby's dad and he's behind Smash, he gets a lot of like frontline coverage when it comes to Smash. So I thought that'd be a great way to do it.
I have no love for the Kirby IP. Like, it just doesn't hit for me at all. I don't care about it or any of the characters. So that doesn't really, like, that doesn't sell it for me. And it's just like, I don't know, in a world where we have Mario Kart, it's hard. I don't know. I am happy for everyone that's happy. Me personally, chat, not slapping for me. Do you think that the general world was happy when they saw his name or sad when they saw his name because that means Smash is either not being made by him or really, really far out?
I think excited. I think they're excited. I think people really love those Air Ride games, man. I think it's...
I'm seeing, dude, I don't know if I've ever gotten hate like this. You know what I mean?
How are we feeling about Donkey Kong's new design after this trailer?
You know what's funny is it didn't really affect me. It didn't bother me in this trailer, I guess. I didn't really think about it. I'm not too passionate about the design of Donkey Kong in general. You know what I mean? Because Nintendo could always just be like, oh, this is a new Donkey Kong. It's Donkey Kong's nephew, grandson, blah, blah, blah. It doesn't bother me. What did bother me is that they didn't get Seth Rogen to voice it. Actually, like, why not just get, if you're going to have movie Donkey Kong, just give me movie Seth Rogen around.
if Seth Rogen would have done a voice for Donkey Kong other than just doing his voice, maybe. But like, I'm totally fine with Donkey Kong not sounding like Seth Rogen outside of the movie.
He did an interview once and he was like, yeah, and they approached me. I said, I'd love to do the voice of Donkey Kong if you're okay with Donkey Kong sounding exactly like Seth Rogen, you know? And it was like, yeah. My initial thought, right? It's no secret that I hate Donkey Kong 64. It's my least favorite game of all time. I literally think it's the worst video game that's ever been made. And that's not even a thing. I think that there's video games that are actually play worse. I think Donkey Kong 64 is the pinnacle of mediocrity to the point where you just don't care so hard. I just don't like it. I wasn't excited at first. My initial thought was just like, I wanted a Mario game.
Uh-huh.
And then he starts smashing up the ground and going underneath the levels. And then I'm thinking, okay, there's something here. There is this. What I'm imagining is that this started off as one of those like really fancy tech demos where they're like, look at a destructible environment here in our Nintendo engine, right? Look at all the things we could do with this in a Zelda game, in a Mario game. But it'll first fit in a Donkey Kong game, right? And it's kind of, to me, like this is the game that they're showing off, like the next step in that Nintendo engine. And that next step is completely destroyable environments where you can have underground tunnels and everything else. Because it does look like it's running on that same Mario Odyssey Tears of the Kingdom engine.
Yeah, they definitely use that same, like Nintendo's in-house engine they're using and retooling and for all their stuff, for sure. The thing, like, about everything in this trailer, like, to me, like, everything about it, like, just looks like Mario Odyssey, and I say that with nothing but joy. Like, it looks like it controls so smoothly. Donkey Kong looks like he moves around so in, like, such a fun way. And, yeah, like, whereas in Mario Odyssey, it was about, like, carefully carving your path by, you know, jumping around and you know, being precise on platforms and stuff. In this one, you're like going around and just smashing the hell out of the path. You're carving the path out of the world, which is so cool.
Having Donkey Kong go down while Mario goes up, right? Like Donkey Kong is platforming downwards mostly, you know what I mean? Destroying things, getting rid of the environment. That makes a lot of sense to me. While having Mario go up, and then you have enough differential. Because I think that's a lot of things I hate about Donkey Kong 64 is it's a worse version of Mario 64.
The differentiation in like play style between them is not huge. Whereas like here, Donkey Kong's got such a huge focus on his strength.
I want to know how much I can break. Can I destroy this entire level? Can you destroy the level where you can't beat it? Like I am very curious of how that's going to work, how that's going to play out. You know. Hear me out. The Switch 1 box is longer, and it has the colored Joy-Cons. Now, I'm not saying it's going to be a problem, but I could definitely see there being confusion from the casual audience about which one to buy. That's all I'm saying. I think it's
definitely possible.
I wish they would have at least like changed the red to white or black or something. You know what I mean? Just because having the red box as well with the same logo, just with a 2 next to it, and it's very similar.
The 2 is the biggest thing on there, though.
It is very big.
And not only is it on the box, like in the corner, it's also like in the middle of the controller.
They even have the same bloom though. Yeah, but they have the same bloom on the screen.
Yeah, they are using the same weird bloom on the screen. Weird that they don't just like put a game on the screen.
But I think that's something like PlayStation's been really good about though, is their
box
packaging
always looks different. Their packaging is always unique. Yeah.
Yeah, while they still keep that same like classic PS logo, like the PS2 logo is different than the PS3 logo is different than the PS. You know what I mean? They still have that kind of switch. Don't buy that one. I don't care how little it costs. Do not buy that game.
It is ridiculous. Yeah, it's a weird. I like a while back I read the book that Reggie put out about his time at Nintendo and his career in general, and like Nintendo, he fought tooth and nail for them to include Wii Sports. Like he had to like fly to Japan like 6 times and go to board meetings with Nintendo of Japan to be like, guys, we have to include Wii Sports with the Wii. Like, we can't not include it. And they were just so against him, like tooth and nail. We're like, you are dumb, you are stupid, we don't do that. And now that he's gone, they're back to their not including games ways of the past.
It's so stupid. I mean, especially when you have if they would not have included Wii Sports, that we would have bombed. It would have absolutely bombed. Having that as a packet was so huge.
It was essential. Yeah.
1-2 Switch should have been a pack-in as well. I completely agree. Have a pack-in with a super gimmicky ass game that shows all the new stuff your console does. Yeah, who cares, man? Dude, Wii Sports is the only game you needed for the Wii for a while. Dude, bowling on Wii Sports was fun. That one is really good. Will we ever have a more hyped Nintendo Direct? Oh, I'm sure we've had and will have.
Yeah.
But, you want to play Mario Baseball?
Right now?
I mean,